This Gothic cathedral with its intricate design and pointed arches is a painting from 1813 by the German artist Karl Friedrich Schinkel. This impressive cathedral, imaginary though, is painted against a setting sun with a calm lake and some random people in the foreground, emphasizing the grandeur of this church and the city surrounding it. The artist Schinkel painted this despite being an architect at heart, but as there was no chance to actually realize this kind of building during his life, he resorted to painting these kinds of fantasies. However, Karl Friedrich Schinkel is nowadays best known for being an architect, but yet the focus of this video is his painting. He was born in 1781 in Germany, studied architecture in Berlin, and spent 2 years in Rome between 1803 and 1805. However, when he came back to his native Prussia, they were defeated by the army of Napoleon and there was no money and interest in building anything. So he turned to painting instead. He had already some decent experience and talent as a painter, given this simple landscape he painted in his early 20s. He had never received any formal art education other than the architectural drawing lessons he received, but during his trip to Italy, he made numerous sketches and drawings of landscapes and buildings he saw. Now that he was practically forced into making a living as a painter due to the political circumstances, he combined his interests as an architect with his skills with a pencil and brush, resulting in this ancient city at the foot of a mountain. You can see how he included some people and activities in the foreground, but the focus of this painting is the architectural elements of the city against the surrounding landscape. However, during his first decade back in Prussia, Schinkel slowly realized that he would not become the best artist of his time and region, especially after he saw the works of his 7-year-older colleague Caspar David Friedrich, who would become the most famous German Romantic painter with works like Wanderer Above the Sea of Fog and many other famous works. And if you want to learn more about his work, I have another video on this channel discussing it in some detail. And just to see if you agree with the opinion of Schinkel that Friedrich was the better artist, on the left here is a work by Schinkel in a similar style as the works of Friedrich, and on the right is a work by Friedrich painted in the same year. I'll let you be the judge on which of these works you prefer. Let me know in the comment section down below. Schinkel did paint some very beautiful works, however, many of them architectural fantasies, though also with the hope and idea of realizing some of these buildings in reality. He used his drawings and paintings to develop his architectural ideas, experimenting with different styles and architectural solutions. By 1815, aged 34, Schinkel was appointed as the advisor to the Prussian king, which allowed him to mostly focus on his architectural work. The year before, the Prussians had defeated the Napoleonic forces and there was some opportunity to develop the country again. However, Prussia was still running low on money and the buildings Schinkel had captured in his paintings would almost all be way too ambitious for what was approved. The works of Schinkel show a combination of both Gothic and classical architecture, two styles that were very different, and the choice between both styles was an important one during a time that Prussia and Germany had been occupied and were redeveloping their national identity. In his Gothic cathedral by the water, Schinkel has the imaginary Gothic cathedral dominate the composition. But if you look at the bottom right, you can see a small classical temple inspired by the ancient Greeks. Schinkel had actually designed 2 buildings in this style, which were actually built in Berlin a couple of years after this painting. The choice between classical and Gothic architecture was an interesting subject during Schinkel's life. Just keep in mind that Schinkel did not have the freedom to choose what buildings he could design. It was always up to the Prussian king or one of the other wealthy commissioners of a building. So we know that Schinkel had spent a couple of years in Italy and was thus quite familiar with the Roman and Greek classical architecture. But the Gothic style was strongly associated with Germany's identity. The pointed arches and curvy lines of Gothic architecture were associated with originality and emotion, a style that the German people identified with strongly. The straight lines and symmetry of classical architecture, though, were associated with order, harmony, and reason. However, it did not really resonate with the Germans trying to rebuild their identity after all the Napoleonic turmoil. Early in his career, Schinkel preferred the creativity and uniqueness of Gothic buildings. But when he grew older, he started to prefer the calmness, clarity, and harmony of classical designs. He became of the opinion that the pointed arches, for example, represented conflicting forces colliding with each other and created a sense of restlessness. As Schinkel could only realize some of his architectural ideas later in life, the majority of the actual buildings he designed are in neoclassical style, though he also has contributed to more Gothic designs and many of his buildings can be found in Berlin today. In fact, his architecture arguably marks the beginning of the beauty and grandeur of the city of Berlin. As mentioned, the ideas of Schinkel were much grander than what could be realized, so instead of the magnificent buildings in some of his paintings, he had to settle for less spectacular buildings in reality. Here's a simple example of a church he designed in Neheim near Dortmund. But he did not only set his eyes on his own country. In addition, he worked on some very ambitious plans abroad, like this floor plan for the proposed Orinda Palace in Crimea, an over-the-top building that no longer exists. And he developed an ambitious plan to redesign the Acropolis in Athens into a royal palace, which you can see here. But this was also never executed. He developed it right after Greece first became a monarchy in 1832, and here you can see one of the many ideas he developed for the interior of this palace, as well as the side views of this enormous design. Had Schinkel lived in a different time and/or region where there was more money available, he would have had a much bigger impact on the world, but his ideas have inspired many future architects. And perhaps as an illustration of Schinkel's fate, he also dedicated time to designing backgrounds for performances, and this is an example showing a stage design for Mozart's Magic Flute, specifically the sixth scene of the first act showing the Hall of Stars in the Palace of the Queen of the Night. Well, I hope you enjoyed the art and architecture of Karl Friedrich Schinkel, perhaps not the most famous artist outside of Germany, but I do enjoy the works that have survived from his hand. If you want to support the channel, please click the like and subscribe buttons and leave a comment down below with your thoughts about Schinkel and any suggestions you may have for future videos. Thanks for watching.